Okay, so Gon and Kdar. Okay, open corners. Okay, doing the points lever. Okay, not the points lever.
I haven't watched that class yet, to be honest.
Oh, okay. I don't know how I feel about this move. It's definitely basics, but this feels probably better. And then like 3/3 or approach. And then later on the top side, this is looking big.
Okay.
It's just the taking Gote here for the right side just feels small, and then White's still not pressured very much because White still has this slide. So it just feels like we can do more. With the other variations, it looks like we can do more. At the very least, I'd want to take Sente probably because I think we're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're okay. But okay, yeah, I understand basics wise. This one definitely makes sense. Just something's telling me that's too slow for probably like I don't know. Probably for a higher single digit queues. Okay. For white, I'm not sure why we're going high here. I really just want to settle. So maybe attach, or just like that. I really just want to look to settle. Okay, big. This is cool. So has anyone ever seen this move before? Actually, let me change it a little bit. Has anyone ever
Very old move.
seen this move?
Very
Oh
old
yeah,
move.
yeah. Of course, Spats has seen it. Yeah.
That was
This
like
is I saw this in
OG
like
basics because no matter how black responds, you're getting
yeah.
a 2-space extend. It's like play wherever you want. You can't
Exactly.
attack me.
Yeah. So this is actually
Yeah.
in a Go history book that I read. This is what this was. Is a Go history book. Because you can make a pincer on both sides.
I feel like it's very
Or
pretty
sorry, make a
shape.
base on both sides. Yeah, it's very pretty shape, but there's
like Japanese
a couple
style.
problems. Yeah. There's probably a couple problems with it. Is black can be pretty flexible here. So let's just say black wants to change direction here. You can do that. But it's actually a very interesting move because it's really hard to respond to. Then you can do that and then that, but then white can do that. So it's actually a really unique move, right? But let's look at the game. Let's compare that to the game. Here, what happens when I make my base? You can't really do anything to the Shamari. So you can go here or here, and I think white's a little uncomfortable in this corner. So I think because this is a Shamari here, this might not be the right move. Do you kind of follow that logic?
Yeah.
Well, I guess Kato's
I actually, I did think exactly the same. I should try to push it to the Shimari.
Okay. I do like this attach. It's very interesting. I don't like this move though. I think the left side's very, very exciting. So we have this move, we have this move, or not that move, this move, something over here. Yeah, I think the left side's way too exciting right now. But so I think what Kadar's plan is to take Sente here, maybe. I don't know if this turn is Sente, so maybe it's just take Sente like this. I think this is Kadar's plan. This is actually a pretty good plan, if this is his plan. The problem is, I think that black has a counter like this, which is really complex. But for 9Q, probably this is fine. I think black is fine to do this. For 9Q, this is fine. I would say if we're like going on 1-dan, like 3Q to 1-dan, we need to fight in our area of strength. But for basics, this is simple and easy. But Tanuki's it should definitely be wrong here because the left side has so many interesting things right now. Definitely just fix right here. You want to take away this Hane because right now white actually has a very nice push right here into your corner. So not only does this settle white like perfectly, it also starts taking black's eye space. So now we can imagine invasion like this, putting a little bit of pressure on this group. So
Mhm.
if we're thinking about bases right now, because remember basics, attack and defense is about bases. This unsettles white and also protects your base. So it's a very important move. So when white goes here, so this is a mistake by white, I think. I think this move is better. When white goes here, I immediately want to fix my base. This fixes my cutting point, it fixes my eye shape. And what's the most important thing for Q players?
Don't die.
Oh yeah, don't die. But what are the things that lead to death? Yeah, cutting, cutting points and bases. Those are the two things that a lot of Q players underestimate, more especially on the cutting points, and that's the thing that leads to you dying. So yeah, number one thing, don't die. Well, so don't let the things that kill you happen, right? So I really think not blocking your base here, and also you have to spend 2 moves fixing that cutting point. It just feels inefficient and stuff. I do like white here a little bit in the top left, but white also has a problem. So I really want to settle like as fast as I can and then come back and make black cramped and settle my corner. So I want to just fix everything. So I want to fix up here in Sente and then go down here and fix. That's kind of what I want for white. Locally, this is a very big move, but globally, I think this is urgent because we don't have a base. I definitely like playing against this corner, but I don't know if the pincer's right. And I'm not saying that it's a bad move. I legitimately don't know if it's right or not. Because this move, it would be basic because it settles your position and it's taking white space. So this is the basic move. This is an aggressive move and very powerful. So it's exciting, but I honestly couldn't tell you if it's good or bad without going into reading above 9Q. So
Okay.
It's definitely fighting. So it depends on what kind of game that you want. I think this one is more classy approach style where it's simple, basic, and easy. So if you just want an easy game for yourself, this is the one I would play. This one leads to more reading intensive fights. Exciting, but dangerous. Just keep that in mind. I really don't like how you keep leaving the situations because this is definitely a shape point. And also look at white space. But if you go here, now look at white space. So I think you keep underestimating the bases. So you underestimated here, and you're underestimating here. So I think you're not watching the bases closely enough. I think that's the mistake you're making here.
To be honest, I think I'm more concerned of making my base than
yeah. So here's an idea for you going into single digit queue. So a double digit queue, I'm always talking about watch your bases, watch your cutting points and stuff, right? But a single digit queue, I teach my students try to do the exact same thing, but through your opponent's weaknesses. So I've been calling that aggressive defense. Have you heard me say that before?
Yes.
Yeah. So here, yes, defense-wise, this defends you. Technically, though, we have a cutting point. So you didn't defend your cutting point. So that's technically not my double digit Q basics either, because I say defend your cutting point. So this would probably be here or here, I think would be more accurate. Because if you go here, it's like, how do you play, right? So one, you have to read the cutting point. And two, I do like that you made your base, and that definitely is the right idea. But if we can make our base by taking our opponent's base, it's even better. It's kind of like the reason this move is so good for black, is if you defend your base, because remember, if we leave, white can just take our eye space, right? Take our base. So if we can defend our base, like we could just defend it here, but we can also defend it here, which also takes white space, or at least pokes it a little bit. So the idea of aggressive
I feel it was exactly the same on both situations, actually.
Yeah. So the idea of aggressive defense is when you're in contact with your opponent, you need to learn how to see both your weakness and your opponent's weakness at the same time without getting distracted with your opponent's weakness. So what that means is a common mistake I say at single digit Q is they get really excited because they learn how to see their opponent's Aji, and then they get really excited and just go all in on their Aji, but they completely forget about theirs and they end up dying. or it backfires or something bad happens, right? So that's why I always stress to my students, watch your stuff first, watch your problems first, because if you launch an attack from weakness, it can backfire. However, with that being said, going into single digit queue, it's important to start to learn to see both at the same time, but still prioritize yours. It's just, instead of saying I'm going to defend my cut, let's defend my cut by using their weakness. Let's defend the cut while poking their weakness. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's what I call aggressive defense. Is don't just defend yourself now. Defend yourself through your opponent. Now, it doesn't work all the time. Like, if they don't have any Agi, then you have to just play defense. But if they have a lot of Agi, then sometimes you can defend yourself while attacking. But I'm not telling you to go like all gung-ho like this, where you just get cut off. Now, maybe this is good here, but the idea is, you see how you damage your 2 stones. So if that was unintentional, this can be a really bad mistake. So a lot of times the mistake is you see that your opponent's unsettled, so you go all in, take their base. But you're still playing defense here, not offense. So that's the difference between attacking and aggressive defense. Is you're still defending yourself. You're still defending this cutting point, but you're doing so in a way that also pokes their cutting point, instead of just simply defending the cutting point. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, so I think the idea is still master defense, but use your opponent's Agi as well. This is okay. Yeah. It's a little cramped, but it works. I really think white should be making the base right here. I feel like this is an important point for both. Maybe something's up. I don't know. I feel like yeah, this is an important point for both. If I just go here, you have 2 problems. Do you have the plan for this?
Probably not.
Okay, so this is a knight's move, yes?
Yes.
So have you watched any of the lesson videos or any of my lectures about knight's moves?
Yes.
Always read the cutting points of Hane's and knight's moves. So yeah, this is just a knight's move. The biggest, most important thing in middle game is check your cutting points. So anytime you play a knight's move or a Hane, I always tell you, check the cut before you play it. So if you don't have a plan for this, I think it's a bad habit. It's not just a bad shape, but bad habit. And habits can make or break your game. So I think this one would have made a lot more sense, because not only does it poke white, but it also fixes the cut. Okay. This is kind of okay for defense. I'm wondering how this would look, but maybe this is bad for white to do right now. So maybe white should just save the cut. So this is possible, I guess. I think white's not playing enough defense. Here, I do like that you're building the top left, but unsettle, and then you can chase white. And if white runs, that's fine. White still has to run, and then you can cap or something, right? You can do something to white. But if you unsettle, you can build in Sente instead of building in Gote.
Okay.
This is okay. This is the shape. Does it work here? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that should work. So it just becomes like that, right? And then here is just I don't know. Exciting but dangerous. So I guess I can understand the hesitation. But this should be the move if it works. Okay. Is this Sente? I want to say yes, but okay, it's fine. We can sneak it. All right. So is the bottom right the biggest? The top left the biggest? Oh, I'm almost out of time. Okay, so this will be the last point. Which one's bigger? Blacks or whites?
I feel like whites.
Okay. Then why did you jump right here? So right here, why did you jump instead of like doing your move?
Attacking
Cap or
correctly.
whatever. Hmm?
Oh, I've
Okay, so let me rephrase. Is this a big move or is this an attack?
felt more like a attack slash defense. I thought I could do that.
Or
He will have to
are you playing
respond there, and I
defense?
could have to.
Defense, offense, or big move? We have to pick one.
Want to say I thought that as a. Okay, big move.
Big move?
It's not defense because I'm alive.
Okay. If it's big move, this says that the top left is bigger. Okay. But when you go here,
Yes.
you're saying that the bottom right is bigger. So that feels inconsistent to me. Now, if you want to say it's offense, that's fair as well. But offense says take the base first. If you want to play defense, defense says take the base through your opponent's base, right?
Yes.
So that's why I was making the comparison. It's like which one's bigger, because I'm seeing inconsistency. Now, as for the bottom right, you might have a Moyo. This is potentially possible, but do you also know that you have an invasion point right here?
Yes.
Okay, and right here, and right here,
Mm.
and right here, and there's a Ko. Do you know all those moves?
No, I know the co. I'm not completely. I know that there's something that I can do on those second two that you mentioned, manage
Okay.
S5 and S4. Definitely don't know the touch,
Okay.
but I'm not familiar enough to count on them.
Okay, so my point here is that there is a lot of invasion points. So if you are choosing to build, it means that you are going to get rid of those invasion points. So you're going to give white territory and build something in the center. So if you don't build something in the center, then it's a mistake. So do you build? I'm not seeing you build, so probably it's a mistake. Probably an invasion. Because what I would like to have seen is like something like this. That would be more consistent thinking, I guess. So I think an invasion would have worked there, unless you're building the center. But I don't see consistent building. So that's consistent.
I did try to build the center, and then when he started jumping in, I prioritized to reinforce or like to keep the top left.
Yeah, but if the center was the biggest, not the top left, then you should have been consistent with the center being the biggest. So it looks like you changed the big move again. So I would say that point is just be consistent with what's the biggest. If one thing is the biggest, then stay on the biggest. But I don't. So it looked like you jumped to 3 different options, and that's inconsistency. And inconsistency is worse than a bad consistent plan. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And that'll be my final point. So yeah, I will pass it over to Darwin.